fantastic stuff. What a press conference. David Moyes done his press conference this morning, and it was what an amazing press conference. Superb stuff. I don't know, absolutely brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Oh my Evan! What are you doing? Sure, honestly, how hard is it to do microphones? Seriously? How hard is it to do microphones? Oh my God. Right. Did Everton cut that press conference off? Is he still talking? Is he still talking? Oh my God. Seriously. How hard is it? How hard is it? We do this every single day. And honestly, bar like stupid little things like people phoning in and stuff, and we're getting the frog noises. And now and again, we get occasional little stupid things, but come on. You've got one job, lads. Seriously, you've got one job. And it's to just make sure we can hear. Number one, right, I'll never understand this. The people who ask questions should have a microphone. It's a press conference going live around the world on YouTube. They should have. It's amateur hour. I don't give a monkeys. I'll call you out all day. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Sorry, I'm just putting. I know it. Just putting someone in a timeout because they're just a moron.
It's just every question was either too quiet. There was that weird like noise over Moyes' audio. You couldn't hear the question, and then it just cut out at the end. So great press conference and all.
Their audio was as bad as the audio on the PA system on Saturday. Oh my God, come on. How are we supposed to talk about that? A press conference that we couldn't hear?
Couldn't hear off it, and then it just got cut off as well.
We couldn't hear the questions. We couldn't hear half of the answers. It finished while he was talking. Like, how hard is it? Honestly. And if anyone who works at Everton right now has got a problem with me saying this, sort your shit out. Honestly. We do this every single day with tin cans, and we still get it right.
Yeah.
Put a proper microphone in front of him, not these two stupid little crappy things, so that when he leans back, you can't hear him. Put a proper microphone in front of him, or clip another microphone to him, so that when he leans back, you hear him. I saw Emma. Emma was in the comments. She was in the Everton comments, destroying them. It's like she was an ambassador for Toffee TV. Over there.
Fighting the cause.
She was there. That's embarrassing, that. Honestly. That's embarrassing. Seriously. Now, you won't hear it on Sky, because Sky have their own cameras. And when we put ours out later, we have someone who films it on our behalf and stuff. I'm not sure whether because his audio, I'm not sure how his audio will come out on it. But seriously, it's like we can't do anything right at all. James, I swear, you've been here since November, right?
Yeah.
You're not trained in audio, but you'd be fine doing that, wouldn't you?
I'd be alright, yeah. I think I'd do better than what happened today, definitely. But
I honestly don't know what to do to talk about, because I couldn't hear anything he said. All I know is Michalenko's back in training, so he'll probably be available tomorrow. But that to me represents our football club. That's like the first level, isn't it? That's your entry level.
Directly from the club.
That's your entry level into our football club. And you can't hear him. You can't hear the questions, and you can't hear what he said. It was, oh my God. Seriously? It's so amateur. Oh, it's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. And we've got to call you out on it, lads. I'm sorry, but we have to. Obviously, there's no names involved, but we have to call you out. That's terrible. And then they cut it off.
The cutting off, that was the funniest bit, that they just give up. Thought, we've done enough here now.
He asked if there was any more questions.
He was answering them.
And he was answering one that we couldn't hear. And I understand why they cut it off, because it was painful.
Yeah.
And I think the people in the Everton comments were absolutely destroying them. I mean, I understand when you're live, it's difficult. We can stop. We can just stop, basically, and just go, right, we're going to sort this out for you. Like, there was a little faux pas yesterday in the when we did the final word live, and we just told the audience and said, right,
Don't remember what happened.
No, James doesn't remember what happened. That's fine.
Wasn't my fault.
Selective amnesia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we stopped. We said this will be sorted for when it goes on YouTube, and it was. And Everton probably can't do that. Everton probably can't go, David, can you just wait a minute?
Could they not, though? Do you think you'd have a cob on it?
See, right. I'm gonna say something now, right? I'm gonna say something. It's not controversial, but if I was Everton, right, or if I was any football club, I wouldn't have an environment like that where it's like stuffy. I'd have an environment where it's a little bit more chilled out, a little bit more laid back. I'd have them like, I think the whole culture of what football clubs do in press conferences is like proper old fashioned. I'd have them sitting there, right, in a chair, like it was Comic-Con. I'd have them with a handheld mic, dead laid back, dead chilled out, just sitting off. Few people in front of him, and they've all got a mic, and he's just answering questions, like, and the environment's just a lot more chilled out. And if the audio's crap, right, they just swap his mic over. Like you see, you see it all the time, and like after the match, when like someone's mic's not working, and they go, because they get the thing in their ear, and they go, just use that because we can't hear you. Just I'll repeat that question. It needs to be a little bit more laid back. I like a lot of some clubs now are like Paris Saint-Germain do this one where when after training, Luis Garcia and some of the Luis Enrique, and some of the players have to walk through this thing. And when they walk through it, they get stopped and they do like a Q&A live to YouTube and stuff, and it's dead chilled out. It's Bob, like a panel, like a Comic-Con panel, and it's dead chilled out. And they just answer the questions. Some lad or some girl asks them questions, and it's dead chilled out. It's like, it's a bit, they're dead old-fashioned, these press conferences, the way they're done. Like, I just think it should be a lot more laid back. I know they are pretty laid back, but I just think the setting behind those mics are crap. The minute he leans back, you lose him. You lose him. I'd put a mic on him. You know, I'd have a mic on him. Just pin a little mic on him, radio mic. And because David Moyes he's quite chilled out anyway. But I also think the last fella, if you put him in an environment like that, he'd be a little bit more chilled out. Like you're asking someone questions that are not really difficult. Like, it's like, why does the environment have to be like you're next?
A job interview.
Yeah. I find that weird. It's very, very old fashioned, and it's very, very.
Someone
stuffy.
said like the overlap. Would you say like that? It's like
that's a little bit. Yeah, I get just a little.
They're on the couch.
He just sits down in a chair, and he has a mic in his hand, and he answers questions so we can hear him. I find
being able to hear him's a start. Like
that'd be a killer start, wouldn't it? Being able to hear him. Yeah, I find it mad. I find the whole thing mad. Emma's going to get to Finch Farm and she's going to sort it out. Carl says a DJI mic strapped to his chest. Why not? I've got a DJI mic. We've got Road Goes. They are as good as it.
Mics work great over there on the couch.
Yeah. But they're like decent ones though.
We've never had to since I've been here, we've never had to touch them or change anything. We just put them on.
No, because we don't buy crap. You buy crap. You buy it twice, or you buy it 3 times. You buy good stuff, you buy it once. That's a lesson for life, kids. I've told this to James. Socks and underwear.
Big on socks.
Don't buy cheap.
And inner soles.
Don't buy cheap socks from Primark. buy good socks. Telling you now. False economy. False economy, James. I've told you this. It's a lesson for life. Don't buy crap from Primark. Buy good gear when you can afford it. Last you long time. Even if you have to buy £100 jeans from Levi's rather than Primark jeans, I found Primark jeans they fray in the crotch. Just get big holes because of all that. No, especially for like big dudes like us. Is that Baz in the comments? Is that Baz in the comments? Baz is in the comments. Looks like saying, "Stop moaning. I love them trying to make him sound like Daesh with the gravel effect." Daesh. They made him sound like Davros from the Daleks. Never mind Daesh. MB says, "Ped drafty bollocks. Not anymore. Don't buy cheap.
You buy good jeans.
No, don't buy cheap jeans." Give you a little jeans story for you, right? While we're on the chat, because I've got nothing to talk about because I don't know what got said. Went to Benfica, right? Went to Benfica for the game in Europe. Had a pair of jeans on. Think they were cheap. They must have been cheap. Had a few beers when I used to drink, obviously. Playing footy in the square with thousands of Evertonians. Jeans split, crotch to knee.
Ooh.
Crotch to knee.
That's the worst.
That's the worst. Me and me missus walked into the town centre, went into Zara, got a lovely pair of jeans for €20. The lady was like, "No, I want them now. I'm wearing them." And she's like, "Do you want me other ones?" I was like, I could keep them and get them fixed. Missus was like, "Put them in the bin." Put them in the bin. So that was like, and I'm not saying the Zara ones were much better, but they were the first things in hand. And Zara in Portugal's not like a fancy thing because obviously it's from Spain. But yeah,
I'm not good with shops.
No. I mean, obviously.
Whoa.
No, because you only buy certain types of things. I'm not critiquing
climbing.
I'm not critiquing what you wear. I'm critiquing the level of versatility in your wardrobe.
That's
is
fair.
Basically I'm going on an Inca trail.
You know what though? When it's cold, I'm ready.
No, I know you are. I just can't wait for the summer.
See what happens.
Because me and Baz rock up in the summer in shorts. Like,
no, I'm a big shorts fan.
Okay,
Big shorts fan.
So, yeah. Yeah. Baz says, just checking on YouTube, jeans, bollocks, etc. Geez, what do you want us to talk about? We don't know what got said. It's important that we tell everybody how about the stuff. But Michalenko back, that's a bonus. We expected him back anyway, though, didn't we?
Well, we spoke about it, didn't we, on the preview, saying that, whenever he plays against these like top wingers who, score loads of goals and stuff, he normally has quite a good game against them.
Yeah.
Because sort of his strength in a way is that he's really good at defending. So when it is like a Salah or like a Xhaka or something like that, he normally does well. So going into this game, I was hopeful that he would be back for it because, I mean, Salah's just a bit scary, isn't he? Even just the thought of him running at his... And I think he'd spin Ashley Young more than he would Michalenko.
I did like a preview with the Red Men yesterday.
Yeah. Which
can be found on Red Men 2, apparently, which I didn't even think was a thing. And how dare you relegate me to Red Men 2? If it was Baz, it wouldn't have been on Red Men 2. I know that. And when I mentioned about Michalenko, I seen the fear. Seen the fear in their eyes.
Yeah.
They were like, Michalenko wasn't available, was he? And I could see the fear. And they were like talking about Ashley Young. And I was like, nah, Michalenko will be back.
Yeah.
It was precautionary. And I could see the fear. See the colour drain out of their faces because they knew Michalenko is the thing. He's kryptonite for Salah, I think. He says.
I know, yeah. Don't jinx it.
Yeah, he's no, but it's obviously because they were like, well, we saw what happened when Ashley Young played on the other side against Diaz, wasn't it? When he got sent off.
Do you think that'll be a role that's more suited to O'Brien, whether it is Diaz or Gakpo?
Be Gakpo, won't it, I'd imagine.
I know, but even that, I think it's probably better for him, isn't it? Because there's a lot of that. It's to the back post, and Gakpo always seems to be there and just taps it in. Where now he's got 6'5" O'Brien in front of him, it's going to be a bit more of a challenge for him, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, it's
Because that's how I see. Whenever I see Gakpo score, I feel like 9 times out of 10 it's to the back post and he heads it in.
Well, we've had this like running joke for a long time about full backs being only having one eye. Nice one to Toffee for gifting 5 memberships to people. Nice one, mate. That's very nice of you to do such a nice thing. Nice. It's a nice thing to do. It is a nice thing to do.
It's a lovely thing.
You've got it. It is.
Yeah.
It is, James. Don't. And also, Captain Cuddles on the super chat says, I don't know what he says. He just says, thoughts on that, lads? I'm indifferent. I like it. We're getting super chats mocking the audio. I hope someone from Everton's watching. These are your people, and they've come here to take the piss out of you. So I think that's important that you listen to that feedback. No, I think it is when you have a big fella at the back post. A lot of teams will obviously cross and try and stand it up, and Everton fullbacks have been caught out many times. We've said, like me and Baz have said, it's like fullbacks have one eye. They can't see what's on that side of them. So that is an important thing. If you've got a big fella at the back who can deal with it, then you know.
I know it gives that chance as well. That I can go to a 3, which is probably better for everyone because I feel like there'll be a lot of pressure.
You can also go to a 5.
Yeah, well, most likely a 5.
Well, the way I'm picturing it is, I'm taking sort of like the second half against Brighton in many ways as like that's the template that we could find ourselves playing.
Yeah, just taking all the pressure in.
Taking all the pressure.
And the amount of like shots on target and stuff like that.
Because we can't be stupid about this. We know it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
I saw on Saturday maybe obviously not everyone, and certainly not the majority, but I've seen some people overreact to not the result, but the way we played first half. And I just think you can't forget, you can't get away from that. This is the same team that played under the last fella. So we've improved, like we said we would. You know, me, Baz, and John, when we've been sitting here, yourself, we've all said there was more to come out of Everton, and we were right. But that doesn't go past a certain level. And on Saturday, Bournemouth stopped us from playing, and we couldn't go long. So we've adapted from that. I hope we've seen that, and we work on that. We've been working on that because it's going to be hard on tomorrow night. But there is only so much we can improve with these players. Moyes has said that himself. All we can do is give everything we've got and try and play on the front foot. But we're playing the best team in the country right now and the best team in Europe right now based on that Champions League league. So it's going to be tough. We're going to have to play a certain way, but we're going to come under pressure. Let's not forget, last season when we played them, when we beat them, we came under pressure a lot of that game as well, but we defended against it really well, and it's going to be the same tomorrow.
Do you think with us playing both Bournemouth and Liverpool in such like a short time frame that it's beneficial to Everton because they do both play like that high pressing style of play and that they will counter-attack that we can take what we've learned from the Bournemouth game as a positive for this game?
No, I think Saturday, the positives you can take out of it was the second half, obviously. Yeah. But the thing we can take out of it is we've just played a really good pressing side. And we have to learn the lessons from that, don't we? We have to know. We have to look at what we did badly in the first half and how we can improve on it and what not to do. And that's all you can do, isn't it? That's all you can do. You've got to improve every single game as a football team and take the lessons. And I'd rather be in a way, you'd rather, if you play Leicester and you come into the Merseyside derby, they're like night and day. But if you go through Bournemouth first, the way they played, you can learn a lot. And I think it's important. that unfortunately the result went the wrong way. But we did pick up second half and we did get a little bit better. And we have to work out how we did that. Was that just down to them sitting back? Was it down to tiredness? There'll be multiple factors, but we have to look at that for tomorrow's game.
I think definitely as well. I think on another day, we would have at least got one of them chances. I think we got really unlucky that, we hit the bar, like, 3 times, and it's just there was very small, like, things that stopped us from actually getting a goal. But definitely right. I think it's good that they're sort of near each other, that you can take the positives right away and you've got a chance to sort of show what you have learned. But it'd definitely be a tough game.
Yeah. Well, of course it will be. It will be. We all know that. I think
you're right, though, that it would be very reactionary to just assume that we should be battering Bournemouth now because of them 3 wins were before then.
Yeah.
3 wins to the whole.
Well, no, but do you know what? I heard a few people at the match on Saturday sort of like indicate that like it was like, oh, it's only Bournemouth, and you're like, these are a good side, and we're going to have to learn from this performance going into the next one. We're going to have to learn from it going into Liverpool. And hopefully we will. And Moyes, as I was going to say, then Moyes alluded to it of like, the game now, you can't, it's not the 100 miles an hour, kick them, you kick me, we kick you kind of game anymore. There'll be barely any bookings. There certainly won't be too many bookings from their team, unless the ref actually does the job he's supposed to on Van Dijk. But he don't always seems he gets away with one every year, and he gets away with one most games as well.
He should have been off for that one against Richarlison.
No, but he gets away with it all the time. It's like he's like, the refs go, oh no, that's not him. It's like, you're joking, aren't you? Some people seem to forget that when he got done by Pickford, he'd already tried to do hammers before, and that's why no Evertonian, I mean, not many Evertonians have sympathy for him anyway, but no Evertonian had any sympathy for him because he tried to do hammers in that derby. And yeah, but they won't have many players booked because they won't need to get sort of into it. We'll have to try and be physical. But you don't. It's not like an old fashioned. I mean, I've seen Pienaar and Van der Meijden get sent off in derbies. You know what I mean? That's what it used to be like. Where even like the players who were supposed to be like your creative players got involved in it. So it's hard. It's obviously it's not an even like playing field. Like, that's why people don't like VAR.
Yeah.
Because it takes away that ability to ruffle the feathers of opposition now, that level playing field. It's why, like me and John were talking about it yesterday, when we did the final word about the FA Cup, is like why they haven't put VAR in the third and the fourth round is basically to try and make it even. They've basically gone, well, there's no VAR, so maybe you might get away with a few things. You might get lucky. There might be a decision that might go for you. The irony of that is like Blackburn have a goal chalked off that looked onside. But so it's not. There's no levels anymore in football, so it makes it even harder when you play these really good sides now.
Yeah.
So you've got to have so much. You've got to play really well, and you've got to have that little bit of luck as well. So it makes it harder. Like, so I'm not expecting like them to have too many yellow cards tomorrow or anything like that, and we've got to just be careful on that front as well.
Do you think an element of it is as well that, you look at the Everton team, there's no like people from like the area really? Do you think that adds to it? That tomorrow will there be anyone from actual
James
Liverpool?
Garner?
Isn't he a Liverpool fan?
Yeah, but he's from...
I know, but do you think that sort of, when you look back and you see like the teams, like you see it with like England when they talk about that, where they all hated each other so they couldn't play with each other well? Do you think because they're all mates now that there's sort of isn't that aggression in games like derbies that there used to be?
I just looked. I think I don't think that aggression is in the game at all anymore. I think that's gone out of them. I think if you're looking for players in your team, you're looking for players who've been at a club for a while.
Yeah.
So like Jordan Pickford,
Gay.
Yeah, just a kind of Gay. Dom, obviously last year when we saw him. Tarky to a point. Then it becomes a bit like, who've you got? But they know they know.
That's the job with like the atmosphere, isn't it, to really get like the players going so they understand like sort of what it means to a crowd for like a derby win, in a way.
No, they know. I mean, if they've got that connection, with the fan base, they should know how important this game is. It's a derby at the end of the day. You've got to be careful these days. You've got to not go over the top, and that's where like you've got to make sure people like Toffee are calm, and he's got to be. He's got to be on it tomorrow. He's got to be calm for the rest of the team.
Occasionally, doesn't he? And so can't fall into that trap again where, you know, he makes one big tackle and then all of a sudden he thinks he's got to do that every time, or he makes one mistake and he's going to make up for it. And then I think if he falls in that trap, you get another situation like what happened with Bournemouth, where I don't know, he's just a bit manic for a few minutes.
That's it. He's got to be the captain. He's got to be calm tomorrow. He's got to be the one who is being the example. Adesina Gay, funny enough, is actually more of a leader, I think, on Everton's pitch, because he is so calm in these games, and he's so calm in most games. Where Taki, I just think at times the emotion gets to him, and he lets it take over him if he makes a mistake. I think he has to. I mean, don't make mistakes. Don't make mistakes in Merseyside derby. It's about just you've got to have that professional level in. As I said, 20 odd years ago, you could kick. The referee would let everyone have one in many ways. Now they just don't. It doesn't tend to happen as much. But I mean, if they haven't got, they won't have any local players, will they? But it's more.
There's Curtis Jones and Alexander Arnold, but I think they're both injured.
Yeah. Andy Robinson is the nearest thing they've got because he's been at the club for so long. I just think, listen, if you've been at the club for a while, you should have that.
Because even with sort of, I know they're not from there, but when you've seen like Van Dijk against Richarlison, like apart from not just that elbow, but he was doing other little stuff just to get on his nerves. So you feel like sort of that attitude is brought probably from a derby and like the fans' reactions to him. That like they remember sort of, we don't like you, and that's why Van Dijk. There was one where like he put his hand out to help him up and then put it away and stuff. It's just like just little stuff like that. So yeah, I think you're right.
No, it's obviously it's a level, and that's why you've got to be clever. You've got to be clever. You've got to be cute. If you're going to make fouls, you've got to make them in the right area. If you're going to stop them playing, you've got to do it in the right area. You've got to take it in turns. You can't do anything silly. You've got to make sure you make those fouls that are higher up the pitch, break up the play, but do it in a sensible way. Do it in a way that it's different players and it's not the same player all the time who's going to get booked. Yeah. Stop the momentum. Because that'll be the big thing for me, is like stopping the momentum of the play. So it's not... So if they are playing well, it's not like wave after wave sort of thing. But I don't know. Liverpool aren't perfect by any means.
No,
by any
absolutely.
means. And you've seen that. You've seen that recently, and they're not a perfect side anyway. I don't think.
No, when you speak to Liverpool fans, they go like, we've got the points on the table and stuff, but we're not doing good performances. Like, I was speaking to a few of my mates and they're saying under Klopp, like the performance wise, they were way better, but they're just being able to get the results now. And even when you watch highlights, I know I've spoken about it a few times, but when they beat Bournemouth 2-0, Bournemouth could have easily been winning like 2-0 before they even scored, and Clive missed like an open goal and stuff, and it's just them small things where if you would have scored that, then it's just little stuff like that. So I think they've definitely got the flaws. They're not perfect, but it's just whether Everton can really like sort of get the best out.
Get under the skin, isn't it? It's getting under the. To be honest, it's about it's about finding a way, isn't it, to get through them.
Because ultimately, I think Liverpool have a lot more to lose in this derby than what Everton do. Because if it does that lead, because when you see like people talk about, who do you think's going to win the league? There's always that, but Liverpool have that extra game, that little potential 3-point gap. So I think if you get rid of that, and whether it's in Everton's favour or not, then finally you can sort of put an end to that, and you can see in the table exactly like where everyone is and who needs to win what and stuff like that. And if it's 6 points, then 6 points isn't a lot. It's doable for a team to sort of catch up that much.
Mm. Mm.
And so where did they go from there, like mental wise?
Yeah, it is a big game for them. You're right. They could go to the 9 points, and I think that would see them. That would see them. Obviously, that gap would be too big. So there's a lot of pressure on them. Where maybe for us, it's like anything's a bonus as we try and get away from where we are.
Yeah.
Tom S, who's in the comments over on Toffee TV Premier, he's got a ticket for tomorrow in the Lower Gladys. He sat in row W. You should be fine in row W. You will be. I mean, I don't know what section it is, but row W is before you get to the roof, so you shouldn't have any problems seeing. There shouldn't be any posts in your way. Depending on what section you're in, you should be absolutely fine for tomorrow. Yeah, the video I did with Redmen, part of it is on Redmen 2. It was on their Redmen Plus channel. We did it live yesterday, so part of it is on there. They've probably edited it so I say things that sound nice. So we'll wait and see. What did Slot say in his press conference? I've seen a few people say something about Slot said something about last year's derby. James, I don't know if you can find out what he said about last year's derby, but Hakan says on the super chat, do you think it is in the back of their mind that they lost the league at Goodison Park? No, I doubt it. I mean, they've lost the league a couple of times at Goodison Park. I doubt it, but you never know. You never know. But they do come into this game a hell of a lot stronger than they did. They did last year, and obviously last year was closer to the end of the season. I'd probably prefer it if this game was maybe in a month's time, because again they've got about. The Redmen were saying to me that they've got like 5 games now, like really important games, and we're the start of it. And I'd rather be at the end of it than at the start of it, because obviously when you go into these things, you're going to be a lot stronger. I've
got it.
Hakan, you've sent the same super chat twice. Thank you, my friend. What's he said?
Says, I've seen the game of last season. I think they were quite ready, because after 10 minutes, the referee blew his whistle 11 times and 10 times. 11 times and 10 times in favour of Everton. So the Liverpool players were ready to compete, but every time they touched them, it was a free kick.
So it's our fault that the Liverpool players were kicking us.
Every time every time they touched the Everton player, the ref was blowing his whistle.
Oh, okay. So isn't that just because it's a foul?
Yeah.
You stupid shiny-headed muppet. That's just a foul, isn't it? And what's it got to do with you? You weren't even here last year.
Yeah.
Get back to Rangers. Nonsense. What a load of nonsense. Imagine thinking a game at Goodison Park that we'd been helped by a ref. Imagine thinking that. That's incredible. I mean, that game's that game, isn't it? This game is this game. It's, I'm not being funny, but we have the big book of what's happened in Merseyside derbies. They've got nothing, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
We've got all of them.
It's just a weird thing to say anyway, isn't it? He hasn't even experienced the game and he's already trying to cry about it.
You crying about a game that you weren't the manager?
If it was Klopp and he's been like, oh yeah, I've been here for 5 years, and he's moaning about the rest, but he hasn't even managed them.
His team were probably playing, I don't know, probably playing a bleeding Sex Dungeon 11 that night or something. What's going on? What are you talking about? A game that happened last year for? I mean, that you weren't involved in? Honestly? Techno Trance 11? Sex Party or something? I don't know. What's probably playing them in the cup? Weird, absolutely weird. Just weird. Brian Garside says their weaknesses are both fullbacks. can get behind them and teach Beto to attack the front post, we can get something.
Their strength is also the fullbacks, though.
I'm not. I mean, it's going to be Conor Bradley playing right back, isn't it?
I know, but he's just that jammy that he's just as good when you watch him. It's like they lose one and then somehow they just spawn another one and he's just as good, if not better.
I think he's better defensively. I don't think he's better.
I think he's still good to tackle, Mark.
I don't think he's as good as Alexander-Arnold. And on the other side,
no, Alexander-Arnold's completely different.
And on the other side, I think you can get at Robertson. And I think if you can get into his head,
that's probably the key.
If you can get into his head early and he has a poor game early, then I think that's
it'd be a weakness in them.
That's where you could hit them. But I don't know, Lindstrom versus him. I don't know. You'd have to or you could pull Beto over to that side and play diagonals, and then try and get Beto up against him, or try and get Decore if Decore starts up against him, and then have someone dropping off him. I do think Decore, even though people don't particularly like him maybe, but I do think that he might have to take that sort of number 9 sort of roll up, and Beto drop in, because I just can't see Beto's he's not good enough in the air.
No.
Again, and he won't be if he goes up against Van Dijk. You have to have someone who... Last year, a big reason why we won last year is because Don bullied both of their centre-backs.
Yeah.
He really did.
There's always a good battle between Calvert-Lewin and Van Dijk.
He really did. He really did bully them. Again, Liverpool fans will say that's first hand. It was Dom really, really aggressive. I've said loads of times about Dom, about his aggression. When he's aggressive, he goes up a level. It's when he walks around and he's too nice. Whereas last year in the derby, he was so aggressive. And Beto has to be like that. He has to, number one, he has to stay on his... Even if he doesn't win the header, he has to make sure they don't win the header cleanly. There has to be some sort of contact so that you are...
Plan for the second ball, really.
Yeah, exactly. And lots of decent centre-forwards aren't massive, but they just make sure the centre-back have a bad day. Yeah. Jump in the back, make sure it's not...
them anyway.
They don't get a clean contact, and I think that's going to be massive for Beto. And it has to be... That's something he has to do, is try and get under the skin of say, Van Dijk. And that's something Decore, if he starts, will have to do as well.
But do you think Decore could do that when he's in the air challenging for stuff? I don't really know. That sort of fits what his sort of style is either. Were you saying he'd be the number 9 instead? Well, not the number 9, but number 9 when...
He's done it before. He's done it before for Everton. He's done it. He's been the player that we've gone long to. And him and the centre... I think it was Mopai, wasn't it? Him and Mopai would almost swap positions when we went long.
Yeah.
And then Mopai would try and get off the knockdowns. And if there has to be occasions maybe where we line up as a 4-4-2. If we're going long, we have to get into a 4-4-2 shape. Yeah. So Decore is an option in the air, because if it's just Beto, it will just come back. Yeah. And Beto's skill set isn't as a target man. No. We know that. His skill set is running around the other side and being one-on-one with the goalkeeper, or creating opportunities with facing the goal.
Well, you look at it's sort of his highlight reel for when he was at Udinese, and even the goals he scored for Everton, it's always in behind the defence, he runs onto it, and because he is sort of awkward with how he runs and how he sort of dribbles, he muscles the defenders off and he gets a good shot off. Whereas Calvert-Lewin, his sort of strength is, interrupt him, he chests it down or he wins a foul and we move up that way. I think that's sort of the annoying thing about this game, is that as much as people criticise Calvert-Lewin, because I agree he's not the best in front of goal, this is the sort of ideal game for him where it'd be a huge attribute to have, where you could just hit it up to him and he would get them grounds. And it's seen before, because Van Dijk always struggles against them, and I just don't know if Beto will be as effective to be able to get in behind when he's up against Konate and Van Dijk, because they're sort of really good at defending that way as well.
I think we're going to have to do different things, aren't we?
Yeah. It's whatever he does, it's going to be a hard choice.
I think if Everton had more time to work on it, a good sort of a way we could, I'm not sure against Liverpool, but maybe against other teams, is sort of what Man City try and do, which is try and drag the opposition's front line closer in, and then the goalkeeper dinks the ball over into midfield.
Yeah.
Man City used to do that really, really well because obviously they don't want to be playing long, even though they're not averse to it. But that was something that they've done loads of times when the keeper just plays that little ball. You play it round the back, you draw them in, and then you play that ball into midfield rather than going long with it. And suddenly you've got a free man in midfield who can take it forward. I'm not sure we're at that level.
I was going to say, the thing is that sort of strength is that.
I do think Pickford's good enough to do that.
No, I know, but
that's a next level thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But I do think you're right with because I said on the preview as well that having someone like James Garner or Ndiaye more centrally and further forward would be sort of ideal, because Decore, his strong set isn't passing either. But having someone like James Garner, who can touch and play a nice ball, or Ndiaye who's comfortable with being on the ball and dribbling, I think it'd be key in sort of finding them balls like the Beto pass or going out wide or whatever. But I don't think you can line up the same way as Bournemouth. And to be fair, that might be a reason why you would go for Alcaraz starting more than.
See, I think the problem with
Alcaraz has also played as a striker.
No. The problem is if you do start Alcaraz, then you lose what Decore is good at.
Yeah,
can help us in this game, and it is a 50. Moyes, something I did hear from the press conference is that he said he was ready. Now he didn't say he was going to pick him, obviously, but he said he is ready to play. So if you play him, you're going to have to play a system that works for him, because you then probably wouldn't have Decore in the team. So if you don't have Decore in the team, you're not really going to go long, I don't think, to Beto. So then you are going to trust playing out from the back. So
what about, though, say you got rid of like a Lindstrom and you had it where you had like a 2 and then just Ndiaye behind them both.
So you wouldn't have any.
And you have a 3 then.
So you wouldn't have
Decore,
but then you wouldn't have any width on the right hand side, and the width is important, even if it's to stop their left back coming forward, and that would be a problem.
But then you could sort of use one of your extra midfielders to get up, like a Garner, to go on the right, and then you can have Ndiaye go out wide onto the left.
I think the problem with that is that you're asking
a lot, yeah.
You're asking central players to cover wide men, and that's where it becomes, because what we do is, or what we've been doing.
No, but you'd have.
Are you? Yeah. You're confusing yourself here.
No, but I'm thinking you have like a 3 behind it, and Ndiaye sort of goes to the left defender, and Garner goes out further on the right, and then you have Alcaraz and Beto up front, and then you can have Decore and Gay. So it's basically
you've absolutely lost me.
Lindstrom and putting Garner out wide.
James Garner.
Yeah.
But then he'd have to play out wide all the game, because they're Liverpool's. Yeah. You've already said Liverpool's fullbacks. They get so much joy that we need. We're going to be. See, I'd have it more like, as I said earlier, I'd have it more like Brighton, where you wide men.
Yeah, but Brighton play mad. They just have everyone attacking.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is you have your wide men tucking into play as a 5 at times. We're going to need that. You've got to have. I think we're almost like going a little bit too overboard on this. Because what we saw against Bournemouth, we don't know how Liverpool are they going to press us as much. Are we going to be able to find a way out of our back line? Well, maybe with diagonals we can do that, and that's where you'll need your wide men. Yeah. You'll need your wide men if we go diagonal, and I can see us going diagonally. But I think another thing we need to do as well is use the goalkeeper more in terms of when we play. So when the second goal on Saturday, and I'm not like blaming Pickford, but if Pickford pulls wide once he's played it, then Toffee has another ball to play. He can play it back to Pickford on his left foot. And he's just dragged 2 players into him, and Pickford's on his own. You see a lot of teams do that as well, where the goalkeeper suddenly becomes like an extra player. Yeah. And we know how good Pickford is. And Pickford's better on the ball than probably Toffee is. So if he pulls out left and you've just dragged 2 players in, then Pickford's got a little bit of time and space then to find his pass. And it's little things like that we see other teams do, and Everton haven't done it for so long because they haven't had a coach is creative enough to do that. But we're getting into like the minutiae of it all, aren't we? As Rocket Raccoon would say.
There's just not really like a clear sort of way you go at the game, or like clear players you think would play well in it. Not play well, but their strengths would be like highlighted in it. I think that's sort of what the confusing bit about it.
Listen. That's down to David Moyes, isn't it? It's down to David Moyes to have that clear way of playing, the players to understand the way we're going to play. Saturday might have been very much a tester for it. And who knows, maybe Beto has been getting worked on in the last few days, and it's not a case of winning headers, it's a case of making sure he doesn't allow the defender to settle on it.
Yeah.
And that can be just as important as a player playing up front, challenging, making it horrible, and then Everton being on the second ball. The centre forward doesn't always have to win the ball, but it's about making sure that the centre back doesn't get a clean opportunity to head it away, and then it's who gets the second ball, and that's what will be massively important for us tomorrow. To start, if we have to start higher up the pitch. Even if that means turning them and getting after them and winning it back in their half, whatever it takes. I'm just not. As I said, that first half on Saturday was it's not an eye opener because we knew how good they were, but it did sort of say that our limitations did. But again, if you keep working on that, it's another few days training. The back in training Monday, to be training today on those things. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with it, obviously.
What did you make of Everton's set pieces against Bournemouth?
Do
you think that could be something that's key in this game? And Charlie Adams lost to earn his money against Liverpool.
Well, he does have to earn his money, doesn't he? He has to earn his money every game because if he's only got one job. Yeah. Then it's very easy to...
Because it was noticeably different, like how they'd line up and they'd all be at the back and then run to the front.
Well, the thing about that job is, it's very easy to critique it because
it's luck-based as well, isn't it?
Do you know what? I don't think it is luck-based at that level. I really don't. I think it's we would say that if, we went on the footy pitch and like our deliveries would be like one delivery's down there and one delivery's over there and all that. I think professional footballers... And this is obviously a bugbear of so many people who watch football, is the first delivery's got to be good. And the amount of times we maybe hit, I think a few times on Saturday, we hit the first man off a corner and things like that is clearly got to be better. It's got to be. This is where McNeil earns his money.
Yeah.
Is because his deliveries were so consistent. They consistently put the opposition under pressure, and that we've struggled to find that consistently since he went off the team. Because you can train all day on these set pieces and stuff. If you can't get it past the first man,
there's no point.
Then what's the point? Yeah. And it was the one at Bournemouth. Remember the one at Bournemouth? I mean, this obviously pre Moyes, but there was one on Bournemouth where we tried something clever, and then I just remember the core smashing up in the air or something. Remember it?
No, I don't remember.
It was in the first half. We tried this clever little set piece, and it comes to the core, and he just went. It was like it was the stupidest thing in the world. So we need to make sure the set pieces are good and you are hitting. And sometimes when we play crosses, certainly off set pieces, you're looking for the first contact, the flick, and actually become very, very close, if you remember on Saturday, because I think it was Jai got the first flick.
Yeah.
Now, that ball is like tiny little bit lower. Their player wins it. And that's why it's so... Yeah. That's that corridor of like...
millimetres.
Yeah,
whether
it is.
It's a perfect one or it's really bad.
It is. It can be millimetres. And I think Njai got the first contact and we nearly scored off it.
Yeah, because you look at Everton's team and it does seem like we're just perfect for corners. And then you look to the game last season, it was that Calvert-Lewin header that sort of solidified the win. It's just whether you can get that again. And even with the game against Bournemouth, you've seen like O'Brien and stuff have chances in the back post, and It's just whether you can sort of make them again for them.
Well, when you think about set pieces, certainly corners, if you just put a ball into the box, the goalkeeper should be dealing with them, shouldn't he? The goalie, like if you just put one in the box, the goalie should be able to catch it or punch it without a problem, really. There shouldn't be any kind of problem there. So you've got to have something a little bit different. You've got to skim the near post. You've got to put it right at the back like we do. Last year when we scored against them, for Toffee, the famous clip of like...
But it always goes to Tarkowski in the back, doesn't it? And he headers it back in, and that's how Everton sort of...
But last year's when Toffee was like, I'll take 2 of these with me. You know, you just get your head on it. And he did. And he took 2 with him. And the delivery was like really, really good. And obviously the header was really good. It's all on the delivery. And that has to be consistent. Yeah. And you have to have different... Sometimes you have to mix it up. You have to have... Sometimes you can go short. But it is all about that first delivery. You can work on it all day. And that's what... The set-piece coach will be working with the players on scenarios, and I imagine he'd be working on to make sure that you are getting good contact every time you take a set-piece. And you're not rushing it either. I've seen loads of free kicks get rushed, and that's why the first ball in is really, really poor. But yeah, that's obviously a way. But you've got to get in areas where you can win the set pieces. Yeah. You've got to get in areas where you can affect the game.
No, well, that goes back to your like diagonals, really, doesn't it? Like that going up there and just trying to get a corner or something from it.
Yeah. Tom S, you should be GT4, mate. You'll be fine. Yeah, you should be fine. That's actually a really good view. You should have tomorrow of the game, whether you want it or not. If Eamon's if O'Brien's going to score, he's got to do a little bit better than he did on Saturday when he basically had a open goal, as far as I'm concerned, and has hit the post. Yeah. So we'll wait and see.
That one as well, didn't he, disallowed?
Yeah, he was offside, wasn't he?
I know, yeah, but he's getting there.
Yeah, he's
getting there.
That's it. I mean, with him, Tarky and Brantwaite, as the Leicester player said, fans said it is cheating, isn't it? It is cheating, and that's why the delivery has got to be good. Yeah, Mark saying get Garner to take them. He should have a good delivery. I must admit though, I've been somewhat undersold on James Garner from what we were told we were getting when we signed him. When we signed them, we were told we were getting this unbelievable set-piece taker. Yeah. And it's like when we bought the other fella from Swansea.
One free kick in a pre-season.
It's like, it was like he took free kicks for fun when he was at Swansea, and he had one in a pre-season. And James Garner's been slightly the same. It's like I've seen him take loads of good set-pieces when he was at Forest. He's not done anything directly, has he? And certainly he has to improve on his set pieces. He hasn't got the consistency of Dwight McNeil. No. And that was one of the things. It was like, he's an alright player, but his set pieces are brilliant. I'm yet to see that. I'm yet to be wowed by James Garner's set pieces. Yeah. So he has to. That's something that he needs to improve on.
In Everton's team, how many have scored a free kick? If you look at Young, didn't Lindstrom score one in pre-season?
Young. Lindstrom
scored one against Arsenal, even though it was heavily deflected.
Heavily deflected, he
still scored it. Is there anyone else?
No.
Alcaraz was nearly in that list.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, he scored at Preston, didn't he? Lindstrom, I was there, and Young against Wolves. But apart from that,
I think so.
There's no one.
I can't believe Sigurdsson never scored a proper one for us.
No.
That just shows Everton's luck, doesn't it? Not even luck.
Is it? It's just weird that he never. It's just weird that he never.
And he scored some screamers as well.
Some of the ones he scored for
Leicester when he done like the crease turn and scored. That
goal he scored against Southampton was unbelievable when we got beat 4-1.
Was that one that bounced off his back? Or was that a different one?
No, someone where we were 4-0 down. He sort of leaned back and just popped one in from about 30 yards. Scored an unbelievable one. Obviously, Hajic split, which maybe in hindsight he shouldn't have.
We're battling the game.
We're battling that. Well, I mean, he was. He was one of the main issues of the case.
But the actual clubs, it's like we've been fighting this case.
Yeah, No, it's been unbelievable. It's been unbelievable. No, we haven't had. I mean, Luca Dean was the last consistent free kick taker, wasn't he, for Everton? And obviously before.
Andre Gomez, but he's gone. But he scored one, didn't he, last season against Palace?
Yeah. And then obviously Baines was the last really, really good one. Something about left footers and free kicks, isn't it? It's weird. It's weird, certainly. Certainly for us. I mean, Sheedy used to just be here to take them for fun.
I remember my dad saying that he took one with he put it in like the left corner and then made them retake it and he put it in the right corner.
Yeah.
It's mental, that.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Imagine someone doing that now. Yeah. He blew the whistle and it was like in, and then he was like, brought it back, so we put it on the other side. Could do anything, that fella with his left foot. Unbelievable. Greatest left foot I've ever seen for someone who's not Brazilian, put it that way. Yeah, he was incredible.
Remember Lukaku scored one against Crystal Palace?
I do. 1-1. 1-1, yeah.
I think it was anyone else in them.
Tony Hibbert, his testimonial.
Right across the floor.
Just on the floor. Yeah, he put one in, didn't he? I can't remember of too many more who have scored. I'm trying to think over the years who scored free kicks for us. Morales scored one. I've got visions of Morales scoring one against someone.
There's not one that like comes to me instantly from Morales.
I'm sure people in the comments will tell us who scored. I'm sure. Who did Morales get one against? I'm sure he got one against someone.
He got one against Aston Villa.
Yeah, in the 4-0. Yeah.
2-1. This one.
Oh, the 2-1, yeah. Well, sorry, 2-1, yeah. At Gladys Street end, yeah. Gladys Street.
25-yard free kick.
That was under Koeman. I think we went on a great run then. I think the whole of the second half of the season we were unbeaten at home. Andy Hinchcliffe, was his free kick at QPR.
Did Barkley score one?
I'm pretty sure he did. I just can't remember who. Hinchcliffe free kick against QPR was unbelievable. It was the last minute of the game. I think we'd been behind, and then he popped up to make it 3-2. Yeah, in the last minute. Arteta scored against Crystal Palace, didn't he? Free kick, 4-0, Park End. Remember that? He scored one against Hull. His one against Palace, I think, was his first goal. I think James Vaughan scored the same day. Barkley against Swansea. Bakayoko scored a boss free kick against Bristol City, if I remember.
Oh yeah, I've got it. Everton won 2-1. Barkley was the winner.
There you go. Stubb scored. Yeah, he scored in. Scrubs. Stubb scored at Bolton as well. A pile driver free kick. I think he also scored one at Spurs as well. Smashed it in. He scored one against Man United when we got beat 4-2. Yeah. But, I mean, everyone knows Baines is at Newcastle, don't they? Carsley scored one at Newcastle, didn't he? Great free kick. That was like, everyone was like, what? Lee Carsley can score free kicks now. It was boss. Absolutely unbelievable free kick it was. It was like, he can do that? What's going on? Yeah. We need to do we're going to do a new show on Premier, a tier list show. And maybe this can be one of our tier lists, is like free kicks or something. I don't know. Don't know if you can make goals. Oh, that was a crap free kick. I know, but can you make them like?
You say like, I don't know, Idrissa Gana against CTO.
Yeah, that would be.
Or you could just do free kick takers.
No, I think you'd have to go like on the goal.
Yeah,
you'd have to go on the goal, wouldn't you? So, rather than who took them, because you could be here all day for the takers. Gary Naismith scored one against Spurs on Good Friday. Many years ago, we won 3-0. It was a big win, and he scored a great free kick. I think we were 3-0 up really early. We thought we were just going to like win 8-0, and it stayed 3-0. Typical Everton fashion, but yeah, crazy. Parsley against Liverpool. Carsley didn't score a free kick against Liverpool.
Arteta did though, didn't he? Or have you mentioned that one? Or am I making something up in my head?
No, you're making something up in your head. You're making something up in your head. Loads of people just repeating what we've already said in the comments.
I think I'm making it up.
Yeah, Arteta never scored. He scored one in the Merseyside derby when we won 2-0 and the ball came out to him and he just smashed it
Maybe
in.
that's what I'm thinking of, yeah.
Yeah. Kale scored. It was the last time we scored, wasn't it? Unsworth versus Preston, yeah. When Moyes was the manager at Preston, he scored a penalty and a free kick. Unsworth was all right off the set. Was an all right set piece taker, wasn't he? Again, left. What is it about left footers? What is it about left footers that makes them unbelievable free kick takers or set piece takers? McNeil hasn't scored a free kick, has he?
Ooh, I feel like he has.
He scored from a corner against Newcastle when they beat us 5-1. So he scored straight from a corner, but I don't think he scored because he hasn't. Has McNeil scored a penalty?
He just scored a goal.
I know he scored goals. I don't think McNeil scored a free kick, has he? But he's definitely no.
When you search free kick,
but he hasn't scored a penalty either, has he? Or has he?
But do you ever took one?
That's what I'm saying. Has he ever? I don't think he's ever took one. I don't think so. Obviously, Baines against West Ham, the double, two free kicks. I got that shirt recently. I'm going to have it slightly altered, but I'm probably going to get Baines on the back of it. But I'm getting rid of the Fisher Price badge and I'm putting a more Everton badge on it, because it deserves it. I'd say you're a great free. Did he score a free kick or was it just a shot? I'd say he used to take a mean free kick, but never scored one for us. John Collins. He was the first player to score in Predator boots, right, for Celtic. First player, and he could take a mean free kick, but he never scored one for us. He was another one. When he signed, you were like, oh, set piece is going to be amazing. Never scored one. He was he's Baz's favourite player, John Collins, by the way. But he's another one who could take a mean free kick. No, I don't think Rooney ever scored one for us. Obviously scored on his Manchester United debut. He scored a hat-trick and one of them was a free kick. But I don't think he ever scored a free kick for us. Gravison scored versus Bolton in 2004. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, John Collins. He was, as I said, he was a mean free kick taker. But Tony Hibbert. We mentioned Tony Hibbert. Yeah. We mentioned Tony Hibbert. Did Beattie score one? Because he used to take free kicks for fun at Southampton. Another one who come to the club with their reputation of scoring boss free kicks. Pienaar against City, yeah, when they played centre midfield, he was unbelievable that day. We beat City 2-0.
Scored one against Fulham on March 11, 2006.
Who?
Beattie.
For Everton?
Yeah.
There you go. Stubbs scored. Yeah, we've mentioned Stubbs. No, Gaza never scored one, don't think. He only ever scored a couple of... He scored at Bolton. I was there. We drew 2-2. Conceded the last minute goal. It would have been a great day if we'd held on. Yeah. Just going to see now. John Collins, it was his... I'm not sure of his goal in Predator. Right. No, he score, but I'm not sure if it was a free kick or whether he just... Yeah, free kick. He did, yeah. First ever player to score. Hang on, see if I've got it here. Yeah, it was a free kick. Yeah, look at this. First goal in a pair of Predator.
How come he was the one who got the chance to score them first?
Because he had them and he scored first. Yeah, Lukaku versus... Are you all tuning in late? Mentioned all of these. Beagley versus Coventry. Wasn't it rolled to him though? Wasn't it rolled? And he smashed it top corner. I'm sure it was rolled to him. Scott Gemmell rings a couple of bells. Manuel Fernandes. Yes, we know that Arteta scored against Hull. Manny Fernandes, did he score a free kick? Gary Speed. I don't remember Gary Speed scoring a free kick, if I'm honest. I'm sure the Beagley one was rolled to him. Kanchelskis. Can't remember Kanchelskis scoring a free kick for us. Yeah, I take John Collins. I tell you another one. John Collins scored. He scored for Celtic against Everton in Neville Southall's testimonial, and it was unbelievable, an unbelievable goal. But it wasn't a, free kick. We drew 2-2, and all he did was boo, dunk, because obviously Rangers and Celtic. Yeah, 2-2 it was. Yeah, it was a boss game, that 2-2. Prechy versus Oldham. Yeah, I remember that game. He scored. He made it 2-2, and Oldham scored twice in the 89th minute and 90th minute. We were 2-0 cruising. Beautiful, no problem. Yeah, up pops Oldham in injury time and got 2 goals. I think it was literally, like the last 5 minutes he scored.
That's happened too much though.
I know. We were absolutely cruising as well. Delafeu versus Reading, 3-0 in the green kit, if I remember.
I remember that one.
Yeah, good spot. Yeah. There you go. Limpard, don't remember Limpard scoring a free kick. Sheedy used to always do his boss thing with Sheedy, right? No one ever does it now. But they don't need to do it now. So we used to get loads of indirect free kicks. Doesn't really happen in football now.
It's very rare.
So what they used to do is they'd have a player there and a player there on the ball, and one player would pass it to the other player and stop it dead, and Sheedy would take the free kick like he was taking.
Yeah. So
it would be stopped dead like he was taking a free kick, like a dead ball free kick.
Why didn't he just take the free kick? Oh,
because it was indirect. Because it was indirect. Yeah.
Kind of
that was a dead clever ploy, Evan, and I've never really seen that since. Anyway, it was a dead clever one. Yeah. Dean scored against Lincoln when we were behind after 20 seconds. We won 3-2. Yeah. Nuno Valente. Don't remember Nuno Valente scoring a free kick. There you go. Right, that's us. We'll be back at 5 o'clock over on Toffee TV Premier. Join us then. If you're not a Toffee TV Premier, you could become a Toffee TV Premier and come and watch us at 5 o'clock. But you're not, so you're just going to completely miss out on us being boss at 5 o'clock. That's on you. Thanks for watching. See you later.